Hello everybody, welcome to Amar's Game Chat. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. I am Amar, and today I just wanted to talk about Nintendo's newest announcement of the Super Mario Galaxy movie second Nintendo Direct. This week has already had a ton of Mario news, so this is like the perfect way to bookend it. But obviously, this week we've already had the Super Mario Bros. Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 edition trailer. I mean, we probably will get another trailer for that very, very soon, like before it releases. But just had that trailer. We had the overview trailer for the Talking Flower toy slash like merchandise, like based on Super Mario Bros. Wonder. We've had a couple of amiibo announcements for Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and we also had, it's not Super Mario like the related, super like related, but we also had the Donkey Kong Country Returns HD update release, which is like a major update that added Dixie Kong to the game. So we've already had a ton of news, and then Nintendo decided, you know what? Let's do one more news drop, or like two more news drops for the week, being the announcement of the Super Mario Bros. Like the Super Mario Galaxy movie direct today, and then the direct actually happening on Sunday, January 25th, 2026, at 6 a.m. PT, 9 a.m. ET. So in this video, I just want to talk about some of my thoughts on what I think we'll see in that direct. Some of my predictions for that, and then maybe a little bit of my thoughts on the movie. We didn't really do any of like these type of videos for the first movie, so I figured it'd be kind of cool, maybe one video like this, maybe one video for like Mario Day when I'm expecting like the final trailer for the movie, and then maybe like one more video going into the movie, and then maybe a review. We'll see about that. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So yeah, we are getting the second direct for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I think it's gonna be really good. The movie and this direct. I really loved the first movie, so that kind of puts into perspective what I'm kind of expecting from this movie. But yeah, I'm very excited for this direct. I think we're gonna see a lot of new little tidbits for the movie. Like normally with these trailers that they do for the direct, like during the directs, it's normally like new clips, new scenes. So we don't really rehash what we've seen in previous trailers in these. So far, obviously, we only have the Super Mario Bros. First movie, like the direct saga, to go off of. But normally, like they reveal, like it gets pretty, like it gets continuously bigger and bigger as the trailers come out. And yeah, I think that's where I probably could start with this predictions video, or like this discussion video. I am expecting the first, like the second trailer for the movie to be here. I guess like the third trailer, depending on if you consider the title reveal to also be a trailer, but I'm expecting the second trailer to be here. And it makes sense, by this time in 2023, we had already had the second, we'd already had two Mario movie trailers, like a clip and then a bunch of posters and the casting reveal. So we already had a lot of content for the Mario movie by then. And we're kind of getting to that point now with this direct. I'm expecting, that second trailer to be here. Some casting announcements. Obviously, maybe some posters. We'd already seen maybe what the next poster will be with the Fire Mario and Fire Luigi. A little teaser image that they included with this direct announcement. But yeah, I'm expecting that the next trailer to be here. I think that'd be like the easiest prediction to make, but it's possible there's not another trailer here. They did only say that this will be a new exclusive look at the movie. So that's just like their wording of it. I don't know if they've said that before for the other directs, which is why, this is like a 99% prediction, not like a 100% prediction. But yeah, I'm expecting the next trailer to be here. I'm expecting it to be a pretty big trailer as well. Because when we look at like the second trailer for the Super Mario Bros. Movie, it did end on like that amazing Rainbow Road scene where like all of the Kongs and Peach and Toad and Mario were all riding on Rainbow Road. I'm expecting a scene like that to also be here. And I think that's like pretty big. It could be like I could see it being like the Yoshi reveal. Like they don't do like a Yoshi look at throughout this entire trailer until the end. And like it's something to do with Yoshi, like maybe Mario is riding a Yoshi, and maybe they all have Yoshis, like Peach and Luigi and Toad. Maybe they all have Yoshis, they're all riding Yoshis. But maybe that's the scene, and they're all riding Yoshis on Rainbow Road or something. But I'm expecting, obviously, that this trailer be a little bit bigger. The first trailer was awesome already. Obviously, we had the it pretty much confirmed like the movie would be a continuation from the first movie. So we saw like we saw mini Bowser. We saw Bowser's taking up a little bit of an artist path now. He's gonna be doing a lot of paintings. Maybe that's gonna be like his whole thing throughout most of them, or like the beginning of the movie where he's like doing different paintings. Maybe we see like Mario and Luigi like battling Bowser Jr. some points, and then it like cuts back, and then we see like Bowser making a painting of it or something like that. I think that'd be kind of interesting. Um, but we saw that we had already seen. Well, that's pretty much the only continuation piece of that trailer, but it did confirm obviously that it is a continuation of the first movie. But then we saw a couple of planets from Galaxy. We saw Toast Arena, at least an area that looks like Toast Arena from Super Mario Odyssey. And then that trailer had ended on the official reveal of Bowser Jr. and Rosalina. So that's a pretty big trailer in my opinion, but I'm expecting this trailer to obviously go a little bit more into Rosalina and Bowser Jr. We'll probably see a lot more of their scenes and a little bit. Maybe they'll explain a little bit more of their motives, like how Mario is going to meet Rosalina in this movie, and then maybe how Bowser Jr. like figured out where Mario and Luigi are. I guess it could be possible that Bowser Jr. is in space, and then once Mario and Luigi go to space, that's when they meet Bowser Jr. And like he's been looking for his dad throughout like for like months, and now he's like, oh, I recognize Mario and Luigi from something that happened in the first movie, and now we'll see what happens there. But I'm very excited for that. I'm excited to see more Bowser Jr., more Rosalina. I'm not expecting too much. Obviously they're not going to spoil too much of the movie here, but I'm expecting to see those two probably have major parts in this trailer. But then, as I mentioned earlier, we obviously have our main cast. We have Mario, Luigi, Toad, Peach, and Bowser. We haven't seen Donkey Kong yet, and they didn't confirm like Seth Rogen would be back for Donkey Kong in this movie. So I'm not sure if they're going to do that. That would be maybe that would be too much like they would be cramming too much into this movie if they had like a Donkey Kong like arc, or like they had to go back to like the jungle, DK jungle, to like meet all the different characters again. Maybe that'd be too much for this movie because they are already going to space. At least some of the characters will be going to space. We don't know. Maybe not all of them. Maybe they all have different arcs. But yeah, again, it'd probably be too much. So maybe we will see Donkey Kong for like a quick second in the movie, but I don't expect to see like the official confirmation that Donkey Kong is also returning in this movie. We'll probably see, in maybe a couple of months after this movie releases, maybe they will confirm that Donkey Kong movie's happening down the line or something like that. But yeah, not expecting to see Donkey Kong yet, or really at all in this movie, and we probably won't see him in the direct either. But still, pretty cool. Donkey Kong's pretty cool. Donkey Kong had a pretty cool role in the first movie, so hopefully we see more of Donkey Kong at some point after this movie. But yeah, I think like what I was mentioning earlier before I got a little off track there was I am expecting to see Yoshi's. Obviously I'd already mentioned that I think we'll like see maybe Mario riding like the main Yoshi in this trailer, but I think Yoshi will be a big part of it. I think Yoshi will be like the big character reveal we get here. I think just recently we've obviously for a little while we've had like different cast members saying like we will see a bunch of different characters in this movie that we don't know about yet. I think they also said it in the last direct, that there is a lot of surprises and a lot of like callbacks and everything in this movie. So I guess we could see more than one character reveal here, but I'm really expecting to see Yoshi. I think it makes sense because Yoshi obviously was teased at the end of the first movie. I was honestly very surprised that we didn't see Yoshi in the most recent trailer, but I think it makes sense, obviously, in the context of that trailer, because they did introduce Bowser Jr. as the villain, and then they introduced like the next major, I'm assuming, character with Rosalina. So, but now that we got those two out of the way, maybe now we can see Yoshi. Maybe Yoshi doesn't even go to space. Maybe Yoshi's something, had a totally different arc in this movie. Maybe that's why. I'm assuming Yoshi's gonna be in this movie, like in like the Galaxy storyline, where I guess Galaxy 2 storyline, where we see like Yoshi interacting with Mario and everything. I'm expecting that to be here as well, but maybe not. Maybe Yoshi will have his own different arc throughout this movie. Maybe Yoshi will meet Birdo, for all we know. But yeah, maybe Birdo will be in the movie as well. But I guess speaking of Yoshi and like Birdo, like those types of characters, I'm not expecting them, if they like like, I guess we know Yoshi's in the movie. If Birdo's also in the movie, I'm not expecting them to have like voiced lines in the sense like spoken lines. I'm expecting them to be a lot more of what we see in the games. You know, I'm not expecting like a major celebrity to be voicing Yoshi or like a Birdo character or anything like that. Just because I don't really know. Like, I think it makes sense if they'd want to do it that way, but I think like it's kind of like in a weird situation in my opinion, because we obviously we heard the Yoshi at the end of the first movie, like in the post credit scene. So I think maybe that was an indication that they aren't planning to do a full voice line, you know, spoken lines from Yoshi in this movie. But I guess we'll have to see. But that's not what I'm expecting. I'm expecting them to use a lot of like the voice lines, and maybe they'll bring back like the voice actors for like these type of characters for this movie. Like, if maybe they'll bring, maybe we get Shy Guy in this movie, and they'll bring actually the Shy Guy voice actors and everything, and like all the different enemy voice actors as well. But I'm expecting that to be the case for this movie, and not to like get like again a major celebrity or major celebrities to voice these characters. If that makes sense, I think that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But that's kind of what I'm expecting there. You know, though I'm expecting Yoshi to have a pretty major role in this movie, and I guess maybe they'll have like a little fun teaser, not teaser, but a fun like line in the movie at some point where Yoshi does say something, and then everyone's like shocked, and then it goes back to like the normal Yoshi lines or something like that. That'd be kind of funny if they did that, and I think that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I'm not expecting like Yoshi to have a voice line, but I'm expecting Yoshi to have a pretty major role in this movie. Like, I'm wearing right now the I guess I'm trying to make like the Mario and Luigi like plumbing shirt now. I wouldn't be surprised if they could make like a Yoshi shirt like this. Obviously they make Yoshi shirts, but like something like Yoshi had like a major role and they make like a shirt based on that. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I've already talked about Rosalina. I've already talked about Bowser Jr., Yoshi. But I think that's it for like the new characters we will really see in this trailer. You know, there's been a lot of speculation. Maybe we'll see Wario in this movie, or like I guess Wario and Waluigi. Probably I haven't really seen much speculation about Waluigi, but at least Wario. I'm not really feeling that. I think it makes like if they really want to do Wario like as a story point in this movie, they will. But I think they already have enough with Bowser Jr. because obviously Bowser Jr. would be the main villain. Maybe Bowser Jr. teams up with Wario, and that'd be like a pretty interesting dynamic. But that's not really what I'm expecting. I guess like character wise, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they tease the existence of Wario at some point in this movie. Like maybe Wario is the post credit scene of the movie and everything. But I'm not really expecting too much outside of like major characters. Like major characters we know outside of like Mario. I mean outside of like Rosalina, Bowser Jr., and Yoshi. Maybe Birdo again. Maybe Toadette shows up in the movie. But that's pretty much it, I'm guessing. In terms of like characters, like I guess Toadsworth as well. I guess Egad could show up as well, but like I'm not expecting any more characters with like major roles to show up. Like maybe there'll be other Mario Universe characters that we meet, and they'll have major roles later. Like I guess I didn't even mention Daisy, but again, I think Daisy is like something you save for like third movie, like another movie where you can like focus on Daisy's story. Because again, I think you know, I think it would be kind of hard to do Rosalina's story and then also talk about Daisy's story, and then there's still things they still need to talk about with Peach's story, and then obviously all the characters like Mario. There's gonna be a lot of backstory I think we're gonna find out about these characters in this movie, especially characters we're gonna be introduced to, but also again some of the characters that we met in the first movie. So I think it'd just be a lot of characters that they still have to do a lot of stuff with in this movie. And so then adding like again a Toadette or a Daisy that, you know, I guess Toadette doesn't need like a super backstory, but like Daisy would probably need a backstory. You know, and stuff characters like that, I think that would be a little more difficult. I think they would save that for like another movie where they can have, you know, maybe they can have like Wario and Daisy and like I'm thinking of another character really quick. Like PD Piranha. Maybe PD Piranha's in a movie, and like we see all those characters in, you know, another movie. Or maybe multiple other movies, but I think that'd be very cool. And then like I guess the other thing that's been on my mind is like what adaptations they're gonna make. Like we already saw like Mario Kart with the Rainbow Road scene and like them driving around in like TK's jungle for a little bit, but Well, I guess it was. I don't know if they were driving around. It was like they were in the mine car driving around, or someone was driving them. One of the characters were driving them around DK Jungle. I think that maybe that was Funky Kong, maybe not, but I think it was maybe Funky Kong that was driving them. But I've been like thinking about like what adaptations they'll make in this movie. We have a lot of different games and everything that they could pull from. Obviously, they had made the adaptation of the Super Mario Bros. Plumbing, and like the Super Mario Bros. Like live action TV show. So I've been thinking about like obviously like we've seen the characters. Like obviously they're making a Galaxy adaptation here to a certain extent, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see like Mario Tennis, like something from Mario Tennis or Mario Golf in this movie. That could be like a little bit of a teaser we see here as well, but I'm not expecting that. Maybe at some point, I'm not really sure it would be this movie, but maybe in like another movie, maybe like all the characters are friendly for a little bit and they do like a little thing, like a little nod at Mario Party or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. But that's kind of like I've been like I guess there's a lot of games they could pull from, both in the main series and the spin-off series. Maybe they do something like Mario and Luigi. Now that we know Mario and Luigi are hopefully going to spend a lot of time together in this movie. We saw them already in Toast Arena. We see in this the main image that they've released with this direct announcement that they will be getting, at least at some point, the Fire Flower, which I guess is also another thing. We'll talk about in a little bit, but we didn't really see these characters get much of the. Well, we saw them get a good amount of power-ups in the first movie, but obviously we never saw Mario and Luigi get the Fire Flower. We never really saw them get the Ice Flower. Maybe one of them would get the Penguin Suit in this movie. But yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot more power-ups as well from this movie. But yeah, I don't really know what else to predict. Obviously, I think we're gonna hear like the Mario Bros rendition that we've heard already in a couple of the trailers. I mean, in the first trailer for this movie, as well as we heard in the movie itself, and then the other trailers for the first movie. Then we'll hear that here. I think we'll obviously hear some tidbits of Gusty Garden Galaxy in this trailer. It's like some Galaxy some Galaxy music as well. And yeah, again, it's gonna be. They normally do casting in these directs to a certain extent. Like we see some of the actors and everything show up. So maybe I'm a little off base on maybe this trailer is gonna reveal a couple of new characters that we haven't met yet in the Mario universe, like in the Mario movie universe, and like they all have voice actors. But I guess I'm also expecting like the other voice actors and actresses also to show up in this movie and this directed to a certain extent, like other ones we already know about. Maybe Brie Larson shows up now that Rosalina probably has a bigger role in this trailer, and she talks a little bit about what the lead up to this movie was and how she got the role and everything. But yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool. Again, we might see Charlie Day again as Luigi, stuff like that. But I guess again, I might be a little off base, but I'm just not really. I don't know. I don't see Yoshi getting a voice actor or like a voice acting in this movie at all. It's just, again, outside of the movie, like one or two lines, like it's like funny lines or like surprising lines or something like that. I think they're gonna want to keep some of the characters like back to like what they sound like in that games. And I think Yoshi's gonna be one of them. And I think that makes the most sense for Yoshi. But yeah, that I will have a reaction to the direct once it airs. Again, and then maybe like after the direct airs on Sunday, maybe I'll do another video just talking about some of my thoughts on that on the trailer we saw, some of the casting, maybe some of the new characters and everything. Obviously we're gonna see a lot of Lumas. I'm expecting to see a lot of different Lumas, maybe not in the trailer, but obviously in the movie we're gonna see a lot of different Lumas, a lot of different personalities of the Lumas. We already saw Luma Lee from the first movie, probably will appear in this movie again. Maybe Rosalina and Luma Lee will like reunite, and then it'll be some emotional scene to a certain extent. But I think it'll be pretty cool. But obviously, it is in the Galaxy setting, so maybe we'll see a lot more of the different planets from Galaxy show up in this trailer. We saw Toast Arena again, obviously from Odyssey. Maybe we see another location from another game. Doesn't have to be Odyssey. Maybe, well, I mean, if it's Odyssey, maybe we see Fossil Falls or something like that. But from Galaxy, from Odyssey, maybe this game is also releasing I mean, this movie is also releasing, 3 years pretty much, or 2.5 years after Super Mario Bros. Wonder released. So I wonder if we see maybe some tidbits, or teases of like Super Mario Bros. Wonder, like different things, like maybe some of the power ups from that game. Maybe maybe it would be a cool tie-in to see some of those things show up, and then you go. Well, I guess the game is also releasing before the movie, the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. But like you see some of the power ups you just played with in that version, and then you see them also in the movie. I think it'd be kind of interesting. Um, but yeah, you know, I mean, I guess the last thing I can finish off on is, I guess, you know, speaking of Mario Wonder a little bit, we do have Daisy in the game. So again, it would make sense for Daisy to show up in this movie if they really want to, but I'm just feeling like, it's gonna be, I think this movie's already being pretty crowded with the just amount of characters they're gonna have in it. And so I feel like, it makes sense for just Daisy to have her own introduction and everything in the movie. And I think, and like her own movie, that like introduces her, and maybe like again Toadette, and some of the other Mario characters, Shy Guy, maybe Shy Guy to gives a significant role in one of the Mario movies. And yeah, I'm very excited for this movie. You can see Captain Toad back there, right there. I'm very we kind of saw in the trailer and like the poster that Captain Toad kind of maybe in this movie, maybe Toad, our main Toad, will be turning into Captain Toad, which would be very, very exciting in my opinion. I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited for the Captain Toad amiibo, and that's coming out right before the movie, so maybe everything's tying in perfectly now that we know Captain Toad is showing up in. And Captain Toad might have a significant role also in Super Mario Bros. Wonders Nintendo Switch 2 edition. So maybe Captain Toad, maybe this is gonna be their Captain Toad. And that'd be awesome for me. But yeah, that is all I really have for you all today. I'm very excited. Again, I will be reacting to the direct on the trailer once it airs on Sunday. So very excited for that. Or it's gonna be. We honestly we haven't had many Sunday directs or like Sunday news drops in general during like the era of Nintendo Directs. I think we've had like one or two in total in the last like 14 years, maybe 15 years of directs. So that's really cool. It's really interesting to see them do it that way. It's probably like some marketing thing. They probably want to have there's probably like some events going on that Nintendo will like want to air some of like TV spots that feature some of these scenes from this trailer in those TV spots. So that makes sense. Or like Illumination and everything. They probably want to put more TV spots out there that feature like different scenes and everything. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And then obviously, this is so much going on with this movie. I'm very excited for it. Yeah, that is all I have for you all today. I hope you all enjoyed. This is like a shorter prediction video than I normally do. Obviously the predictions I did for the year was an hour and a half long. This is it's already 22 minutes long. I'm not expecting, this direct might be like 5, 6, 7 minutes. So I've gone way over that, in terms of the video predictions, but I think just a lot to talk about. Obviously, I kind of rambled on about not just the trailer here, but also the movie. And yeah, I expect to do a little more videos of these, one for before the movie releases. So again, we'll probably have another trailer on Mario Day after this one. But yeah, I'm gonna quit rambling here, and I hope to see you all on Sunday with the trailer. But without further ado, I hope you all do what makes you happy, because I rhymed with my previous name, Generic Happy, and I'll see you next one. Goodbye.